Hi, online biologists, and here we are in week 12 of our Bio 11 course. So this week in lecture we talked about genetics. Specifically, we talked about how genetics works in terms of the concept, how different characteristics and traits are passed down from generation to generation, and how these different alleles or versions of genes can be predicted in terms of how parents can pass them on to offspring. So there are some concepts to keep in mind here, some terms, specifically things like heterozygous, homozygous, what is it meant when we say an allele, so you should feel comfortable about how to do simple calculations or predictions about mating pairs with different alleles and what kinds of offspring you would get from different pairings of parents. Another thing we talked about was specifically the molecular basis of genetics, understanding the structure of DNA and how DNA contains information in the form of genes, and how importantly these genes are then processed, how they are transcribed and turned into RNA, and how ultimately the RNA is then translated into proteins that make up our bodies. So you want to feel comfortable then about how to approach understanding genetics and heritability, as well as being able to answer questions about the molecular basis of how gene transcription works. So you have an assignment this week where you need to pick a trait that has been passed through your family, and you need to design a pedigree. And that assignment is due Sunday night. Now it might seem kind of intimidating, but you just have to think about it. Pick a trait that you're familiar with, that's something that you know is being passed down in your family, and you can go online, check out the assignment. It gives you some helpful links to help you design this pedigree, and I think it's actually a very interesting little project. You also have your week 12 quiz, which is due Sunday night. And importantly, you will need to be able to look at a pedigree and answer some questions about it on that, as well as being able to do some of those Punnett square type of calculations to predict different allele frequencies in heredity. Okay, so in the meantime, I am looking over your DNA warrants for the CSI investigation project, and I'm getting your samples ready so that next Monday in lab we'll be doing DNA analysis, and hopefully that'll be something that you look forward to. It'll be really exciting and really fun. But until then, keep up with the textbook reading, check out that pedigree assignment early so you don't get stuck doing it at the last minute, and have a good week, and I'll see you next Monday.